Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association, the 2015 finale. While at it, hard to believe, and Coach, even though students are gone, classes are over with, this is still an important time for your guys, and almost really, this is the time you're really excited about because there's really nothing on the schedule besides practice with you and playing some games.
That's right, practice and playing. I think coaches love that, players hopefully love that, and it's an opportunity for us to get better and take some steps forward.
Well, like we do every week, let's go ahead and recap the games from a week ago, and we'll start with the High Point Panthers. Coach, this is a team that's been very good at home, winning 15 of their last 17 home games, including no non-conference home defeat since 2013. But early in this game, you told me a week ago the team you'd like to be all the time, feeding the post, playing together. Did you feel like your team did that in the first half against High Point?
Yeah, I thought we did a nice job moving without the ball and sharing the ball. We had a nice pace to us coming out of the locker room. It always helps to see it go in, and I think we made a couple shots early. We got to the rim earlier. You see Deontay right there getting to the rim and getting his own rebound. But we saw it go in early, and that gave us some good energy.
How about Deontay Baldwin, Coach? Finished the night with 16 points. What did you like from him in this game?
Well, he's just doing so much for us, Luke. Sometimes, we're asking him to do too much. We're asking him to guard the best player on the other team. We're asking him to take on most of our ball handling responsibilities. Then we're asking him to go make a lot of plays for us. We need to find ways to not have him have so many responsibilities and let him go be himself. But he's having a terrific junior year, and he's only going to keep getting better because his work ethic is just through the roof.
As you can see, Marvin Smith continuing to cut into the High Point lead, and Deontay Baldwin, who we just talked about here, helps cut the High Point lead again down to 3 for the Panthers here late in the first half. As we close towards the end of the first half, Coach, you guys are pulling in right within 3, and then the final minute, High Point goes on a little 5-0 run. It seems like 5-0 run, 5 points, but those were a big 5 points for the Panthers. How big of a gut punch was that to be so close, hanging around with the guys, and then walking to the locker room with that 5-point spread?
Yeah, it's kind of a coach's nightmare. You say, that they call timeout, and it's a 3-point game with 50 seconds left, and we give up an open 3 to their best shooter, and then we come down the floor, don't execute well at the end of the half, and then let a guy drive down our back and get a layup. That's exactly how you don't want to execute at the end of the half. We're a young team. We're still learning how to play together. We're still learning how to execute. This was an example of exactly how you're not supposed to execute. So had a chance to make a run going into the half and feel good, and it went the other way. And a 5-point swing in 40 seconds is quite a bit.
As we move to the second half, High Point started to click on all cylinders as Adam Weary scores 12 of his 14 total points in the second half, driving through the lane here twice against the Spartans, and then John Brown does what John Brown does, reverse slam, to kind of put the finishing touches on any late run for you guys in this game, Coach, with the final score end up being 90-72. What was the message to the guys in the locker room after that game?
Yeah, we broke them. They made a run, and that's what they're going to do. They're an experienced team. They've had a lot of success. They play great at home. They made a run, and we didn't respond well to those runs. And instead of executing better, focusing more on the details and staying more together, I think when they made a run, we did the opposite. And that's something, again, as a young team early in the year here, we have to learn. We're going to be in lots of tough, competitive road environments, and we got to be able to handle those type of situations the right way. Didn't handle it the right way in the second half at High Point.
Now to the game just over the weekend in the Coliseum. Spartans hosting the Crusaders from Belmont Abbey. And, Coach, one of the reasons your team were able to keep distance from the Crusaders in the first half was due to 50% shooting from behind the arc, with 4 of the 6 coming from Francis Alonso. It seemed like it was a team effort, and you guys able to push out an early lead and never really get the Crusaders in this game. What did you like about the first half?
Well, I like the way that we shared the basketball. I mean, you see there Jordy gets an offensive rebound. Instead of forcing it up over 2 guys, he hits the open guy, and it's an inside-out, high-percentage shot for Francis. I thought the ball moved better for us. We've been stressing that with the guys a lot. We got to be a great execution team. We got to be a team that hits the open guy and plays really unselfishly. I thought we saw that with 22 assists against Belmont Abbey. The ball was really moving.
As you can see, Francis Alonso knocking down a big 3. Spartans continuing to push that lead. We mentioned Francis having really a strong first half against the Crusaders. But, Coach, everybody knows his name. Deontay Baldwin, number 20, gets up with a nice rejection here right before halftime. Did Coach Miller have any blocks like that back in your heyday?
I had about 0 blocks. The difference is I don't think I ever even tried. And we got to be careful. I don't know how many Deontay's going to get, but great play on the ball by him. What I didn't like is Francis, instead of sprinting back, stopped the break high and put us in that situation. But give Deontay credit for making a big-time play on the ball.
40-24 at the half, and KL Locke again kept blossoming that lead. 9 points, perfect 4 for 4 shooting from the floor in the second half. But, Coach, you mentioned in practice, Jordy, it's great to have you back. I think every Spartan fan said that during this game, seeing Jordy play.
Oh, man, it's just not just great. It's phenomenal. He brings so much to us, not just with his ability, and he's got plenty of ability, but just with his mentality and what he's about. He's a leader for us. We've struggled to communicate and be alert and ready on defense, and he does that better than anybody I've coached. So we're really excited to have him back. I think the defensive side of the ball will notice the biggest effect when he steps into the game.
Well, we mentioned at the beginning of the show about this 5-game road stretch coming up, and we'll get to that in the second half of the show, Coach. But more importantly, how big was this game kind of continuing to work with your guys, get Jordy back in the mix, knowing that you're going to have some really good challenges coming up here in the next coming couple weeks?
It was good. It was good to have some successful possessions, and we did about 45 minutes to an hour of film yesterday, recapping the game, and it was a mixed film session. Hey, this is what it should be like. This is how we're supposed to cut. This is how we're supposed to execute. This is how you're supposed to work together on offense, and everything down the line there. Or hey, this is what we can't do. And this is when we gave in a little bit, or we got a little tired and our level dropped off, and we didn't reach our standard on that possession. And the same thing on the defensive side of the ball. So it was a good game for us to have a little success and then do some teaching as well. And I think it bodes well for us going into a really tough stretch, as you mentioned here at the beginning of the show.
Well, you mentioned the tough stretch. We'll talk about that tough stretch in the second half of the show, but we've reached our first break. Don't go away. We got a special Spartan Holiday Games special coming up on the show.
Big flavor to your next get-together with Subway Catering, featuring good-to-go boxed meals with a side and freshly baked cookie, crowd-pleasing giant subs, and piled-high sandwich platters overflowing with flavorific choices. All made the way you say with everything you love, like jalapenos and Chipotle Southwest sauce. Subway Catering is simple and satisfying, a great value for any budget. Just call 877-360-CATER or visit Subway.com and let us take care of any occasion. Subway, cater fresh.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Greensboro and Winston-Salem, it would be Jason Bramblett. He attracts hundreds of buyers and creates so much demand that Jason can guarantee if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agree to, he will buy it. Partner with the agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association. And now we are joined by the freshman phenom, Demetrius Troy, joins the show here. Demetrius, it's great to have you on the show. How's everything going for you? Did you survive your first semester of college all right? Make it through finals okay?
Yes, I made it through finals. The first semester was pretty challenging, but we definitely got through it with the help of my team and coaches, so I think I'm doing pretty well.
Well, for you, we kind of hinted at it a little bit, and I know we've talked about it off the show, but for you didn't know at the same point of if you would be able to play, trying to get cleared by the NCAA. But what was that feeling like for you, practicing, able to practice with the guys going on through, but not knowing if you're going to be able to play? How tough is that, and what do you kind of do during that stretch to keep yourself fresh? And then once your name's finally called, you say, hey, there you go, you can go out and play for us.
It was very tough. It was a very tough time just because sometimes you feel like you're doing things for no reason. Like I'd be practicing every day, working just as hard, but not knowing if my name could be called, and not being able to help my team, I think, affected me the most, just because I want to see us be successful. I want to see us win, and I feel I can help our team do that. So I wanted to be on the floor. I wanted to be in practice, engaged, playing, and doing whatever I can to help my team win. But once my name was called, everybody was ecstatic. I was happy, and now I'm finally playing, and we're having a good time, and we're getting better every day.
Well, you mentioned that happy feeling. Take me back. What was it? What went through your mind because you guys were doing community service? It was Thanksgiving time, right before the Thanksgiving tournament. What was it like to get the official word that you'd be able to play and cleared to play the following day?
For one, it was very, very cool because I was very thankful for this entire situation and everything that UNCG has done for me. And the fact that I was cleared around Thanksgiving on the break was really, really cool to me. It was very weird. It was funny, though, because when I got cleared, I was in the locker room at the Coliseum. It was the day before our first game and of the tournament. And Pat came in, one of our managers, and was like, "Demetrius, get out here right now," like I was in trouble. So I come right in that locker room. I had a mouthful of food. We had just got fed. I go out there, and then Coach West is just like, "Miss Jody has something to tell you." And I'm thinking, okay, like I'm not going to be able to play. I'm going to have the red shirt. Then all of a sudden she's like, "Yeah, well, the letter you sent this morning really helped, and you got cleared by the NCAA." And then everybody was just like ecstatic. Me and Coach Miller had a really big moment, and it was a really, really good feeling.
Well, now that you've had some games under your belt, getting some college experience underneath you, what have you think that you've done well so far, but also some areas that you think you'd like to see yourself improve and continue to tweak?
Defensively, I think myself as well as our entire team, we need to definitely pick that up. I know I do. I think offensively I've impacted the team pretty well. I came in a pretty good offensive threat, so I think that my offensive impact on that, just being able to share the ball, move it, hit open shots, and just run the offense like Coach Miller wants, I think me being able to do that is helping. But definitely I think if we tighten up our defense for these next 5 games, we can definitely shock a lot of people, make some noise.
Let's talk about these next 5 games. For you, I know you've probably kind of always wanted to play college basketball. What's it going to mean to go on the road against teams that are nationally known, such as Wake Forest, North Carolina, NC State, and don't forget Elon as well here in the Triad area, a very good basketball team just down the road. What's it mean to go against really good competition, especially a guy like you that I know that loves competition and going against the best?
I think it reminds you of the passion that I have about basketball, just because now coming to UNCG, we're not necessarily nationally known, but we get to go up against the best, and that's everyone's dream. They always want to beat the best teams in the country. They're able to play everybody. So I think now that we're finally getting that opportunity, getting that chance to showcase what we can do, we can definitely make a lot of noise in this next month coming up.
And it should be a lot of fun Tuesday night against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Hopefully the Demon Deacons leave this guy open because he's going to be doing some damage against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Demetrius, we appreciate the time, and good luck against Wake Forest.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Demetrius Troy. And speaking of Demetrius, he just went through finals. All the players went through finals, and they thought they were done being quizzed and tested. Well, not so fast. We gave them a holiday quiz. Well, let's see how they did.
Name the 8 original reindeer. I have no idea. I mean, I know Rudolph, obviously, but I don't know. It's Paul, Peter.
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen. Oh, goodness gracious. Donner, Dasher, Prancer, Blitzen.
Comet, Cupid.
How many times does Santa check his list? 2 times.
That's from a song, right?
Did say twice?
Twice.
Checking it twice. Twice.
15.
Twice.
Oh. One foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you lay in my sleigh tonight?"
Foggy. Okay.
Something, won't you ride my sleigh tonight? Right? Something like that.
On the 11th day of Christmas, what did my true love send to me? It's like 5-something roses, maybe.
Wow. An Xbox One, if she really loved me.
Is it Piper's Piping? 11 Piper's Piping, that's what it is. Name at least 2 other names for Santa Claus. Santa.
Mr. Claus. The bearded man.
In the movie Elf, what are the 4 main food groups for elves? How do I not know this? I literally watched it last night.
I'll pass.
Candy, candy corn, candy cane, and syrup.
What were the name of the 2 men who broke into Kevin McAllister's home in Home Alone, and what was their nickname? I don't know that one either. Oh, wow, I suck.
And what was that name? This is my movie too, Home Alone.
Joe Pesci. It's the actor's name.
It was Mar and
Close. Not exactly Mar.
Marty.
Marv! Harry? Why the hell did you take your shoes off?
Why the hell you dressed like a chicken?
What was the name of the famous cousin of Clark Griswold in the movie Christmas Vacation? I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen that movie. I have to pass that.
Griswold. I'm gonna go with Sean. That sounds right.
No.
How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish? Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. It's Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad? Yeah. 1/4 Hispanic.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Well, Coach Miller, I can see that some of your guys have missed a few Christmas classics. How would you grade their holiday knowledge?
Luke, everybody out there sees why coaching's so difficult, okay? Because I think they know the answers to those questions. But no, that's fun, and it's good to see their They have unbelievable personalities. They're fun to be around every day. It keeps you young and keeps you energized to be around these guys. But sometimes they do lose their brains out there and don't know what's going on, and we certainly see that on the basketball court. But I was impressed. I knew RJ would know the candy and all that kind of stuff, and then he wants an Xbox. He made that very clear, so that's about right. But it's good to see them having some fun.
Well, if you want to win RJ's heart out there, you just give him an Xbox One. You know, it's pretty cheap. You know, only upwards of $300. You know, somewhere around there.
No question about that.
But Coach, let's turn our attention back to basketball and this 5-game stretch, and it begins with Wake Forest on Tuesday night, and you mentioned against Elon, but just the fact of just these 5 games to go on the road in tough environments against really good quality competition, knowing that, what does that do for you guys as a coaching staff and really the whole team, knowing, look, we're going against really good competition on the road in great environments, should get you voted well for conference stretch starting in January?
Sure. Well, I think first and foremost, it's opportunity. We all do this because we're competitive, because we love the game of basketball. And we all started at level because of that. And I don't know anybody as a player or coach that started that didn't want to go into the toughest environments and play the best teams and didn't want those opportunities. We got to remember that, that we all want those opportunities. And so I think the first thing, it's an opportunity to go in there and compete on a high stage, to compete at a really high level and to have some success. I think that's something that we all should look forward to and all be excited about. But as you said, I think as you go through the process, it's about getting better every single day. You're trying to compete the right way every possession. If every day throughout this Christmas break we can be a better team than we were the day before, we are preparing ourselves for conference play, and this type of schedule does give you the opportunity to continue to improve.
And you mentioned, I already kind of know probably where you're going to go with this answer, because I hear you talk about the guys all the time. It's about us, we together, playing together, 5 guys on the floor. But what's going to be the main measuring stick besides the scoreboard at the end of the game? But what's going to be the measuring stick within your locker room with these guys over here the next course of the weeks in these games?
Yeah, we don't talk about the score ever. We're up 20 against Belmont Abbey, and we're in a timeout and challenging them about their last 2 or 3 defensive possessions, and we could be down 20 in a game, and if we're playing our hearts out and trying to do it the right way, we'll be praising them. Now, trust me, nobody cares about winning or losing any more than I do, Luke. I love to win, and you ask my wife that, I'd like to beat her door sometimes walking from the car to the front door, but I think it's a standard of what we're capable of doing and the way we are capable of playing. And as you said, it's a togetherness, it's an approach. If we see that, that's what we're looking for, and then let the rest take care of itself. We're just trying to reach that standard every possession, every drill, every game, and so that's the thing that we'll be demanding throughout this stretch and throughout the rest of the year.
Well, first things first, starts with the Demon Deacons on Tuesday night. Coach, we appreciate the time. And, of course, all those games, by the way, even though the Spartans aren't at home here in the course of the next month, they're all within the Triad area. So be sure to go out and support Coach Miller and the Spartans. Put on some blue and gold and go out and support these guys because they definitely pour their heart out for you and all the Spartan Nation. So, Coach, appreciate the time. 2015 is done for us here on the show, but we'll get back. I know we'll see plenty of each other here in the next couple of weeks, but appreciate the time, and we'll talk again in 2016.
Yeah, happy holidays to everybody.
Once again, that was Coach Miller. For everybody in Spartan Athletics, as Coach just said, happy holidays. And as always, let's go G.